In just more than a week, voters will head to the polls for the midterm election. Now, something that you may see that you may not be used to are poll watchers. More candidates and parties might be trying to recruit them following everything that happened surrounding the 2020 election. Joe Paris looks at what it takes to be a poll watcher and what rules they have to follow.
Traditionally, a poll watcher in Idaho has been non-existent until a couple of years ago.
Trent Triple is Chief Deputy Clerk at the Ada County Clerk's Office. So Trent, who are these poll watchers?
They work for the candidate or the party, and they report back to them any inconsistencies or anything that may cause alarm for them.
From there, a candidate or party can bring info to election officials to investigate anything a poll watcher thinks may be an issue. But poll watchers need to stay out of the way.
The statutes clearly say that they're not to disrupt the conduct of the election.
Chad Houck is Chief Deputy Secretary of State.
If the behavior in any way is being disruptive to a voter or being intimidating to a voter or making a voter uncomfortable, that voter can just go to any of the election judges in the space, the folks there from the county working that polling location, and just let them know that there's an issue that they have with a particular activity.
People can't just show up on election day to be a poll watcher. It's a coordinated position that, again, is authorized by a political party or candidate for office.
They do have to submit that request in writing to the county clerk in advance, detailing what precinct specifically, what individuals specifically. And largely that's because of that administrative component that goes into making those name tags, knowing who those individuals are going to be when they're assigned into those locations. So that they can have all that information and documentation on site at the polling location for Election Day.
Poll watchers don't have special conduct rules that allow them to interact with protected Election Day privacy for voters. They need to stay out of the way of the election process and do what's in their position title: watch.
We have the ability as county clerks and people who are running the elections to ask them to leave if they're disrupting the normal flow of an election. They can ask questions and we'll answer them as time allows, but our job administering the elections is to make sure that people have access to the ballot.
A storyline with poll watchers nationwide is voter intimidation. Some worry that the position will be used to influence behavior at polling locations, and that includes places here in Idaho. A question some ask on the topic: can poll watchers carry a gun on Election Day at polling locations?
The real question is, what is your polling location? Because in many cases, if polling locations are in schools, that school is still a school, and that is one of the places where constitutional carry is restricted under Idaho law. Insofar as, is it illegal to have a weapon at a polling location? No, it's not, either for a poll watcher or a voter, unless there's some other restriction outside of voting that would cause that particular location to be illegal.
In recent years, we've heard the concerns about poll watchers from some in the community, but Triple points out that there's actually a genuine function to the role, an important one.
We will have watchers, and they have the right to be there. They have the right to observe the elections. We want people to have trust in the elections process, and this is part of it. If people don't feel like we're administering the elections properly, then they can't have faith in the people that are getting elected.
The Secretary of State's office says intimidation during an election, either at a polling place or anywhere for that matter, is a misdemeanor in the state of Idaho. It is also against the law to campaign within 100 feet of a polling place or disrupt or block access. The midterm election, remember, is Tuesday, November 8th. Polling places in most locations are open from 8 until 8. Some counties may choose to open at 7. You can register to vote at the polls.